Hey everybody, welcome back to the Lightside Music Reactions. Today we are reacting to an artist that we have featured on this channel several times already. This is a request, not for this specific song, but for this artist and the album that this song is off of. KRTAUST 5 and Victor Bustamante both requested that I react to some more Stryper stuff. Preferably over their new album When We Were Kings, which I've already reacted to at least 3 songs off of that album already. And then R. McLean 124 requested that I check out their album Fallen. Said that there's a lot of stuff on there that would interest me and a wide variety of topics that they cover. So we are checking out a song from the Fallen album today. It's their 11th studio album and 16th release, and this album was released on October 16th, 2015. So it's been out for 10 years, and I'm not familiar with this album at all. I kind of got away from listening to Stryper and some other Christian artists that I'm a real big fan of, and so I'm going back and discovering some music that I haven't got to hear yet. So I'm glad to have you guys along for the ride. If you have any requests for songs that you want me to react to be any artist, any genre, any style, comment down below and let me know, and we'll get to as many of your reactions as we can. But this is, once again, Stryper off of their album Fallen, and the song is called Yahweh. It's the first release, or the first track off of that album. And let's go ahead and check it out. Stryper performing Yahweh. Okay, that's cool. It's got the ethereal kind of the flavor you get from like the Benedictine monks sort of thing. The what's that period called? The dark. I don't want to say the Dark Ages, but Gothic type of music. Reminds me of those of you that are Star Wars fans like I am. The Duel of the Fates. The background music from the prequel trilogy. Which episode was that? That was Revenge of the Sith, where they had the battle between... Actually, I think it was in Duel of the Fates. Was that Revenge of the Sith between Obi-Wan and Anakin? Or was that from the Phantom Menace between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul? I think it was the original one in part 1. But anyway... It reminds me of that style of music. It's really cool. Let's go ahead and get back into it. Nice. Get that little play on the string. Okay, right there, that scream. It wasn't as high pitched, like ah sort of thing. I can't hit it, but normally when I hear these metal screamers, they hit the real high pitched note. He's holding out that scream, but it's not as high pitched as I would. Several notes higher. I think he could probably hit. Maybe not in his age where he's getting now, but Michael Sweet, great voice. Okay, this is a story song telling the story of the crucifixion. Ooh, nice. Okay, that chorus is awesome. It's got the main part of it is the background vocalists singing almost like the Benedictine monks choir sort of thing, singing Yahweh, and then of course Michael comes in and shouts Yahweh. And of course that's English translated version of the name of God is Yahweh, Jehovah, Yahweh, however you pronounce it. The original pronunciation is actually lost because in the original Hebrew language, where this comes from, they don't have vowels. And so when they write these letters, they just write the consonants, and you have to substitute your own sounds for what you think those vowels are. So over time, the exact pronunciation is lost. And some people call him Jehovah, some say Yahweh. There's different pronunciations, but basically, it's referring to the name of God. He's describing a crown of thorns placed on his head. They clothed him in purple and stated their case. He is the King of the Jews, as they slapped his face. And so, of course, this is referring to Jesus' trial as he was arrested and accused of blasphemy. And it's a capital offense in their culture. And, they were going to execute him for it. And this is the story straight from the Gospels. Pilate said, "I find no reason to charge him." That's the governor that they brought him before to pass judgment upon him. But he found him innocent. He's like, I can't convict him. I can't find any fault in him. As soon as they saw him, they said, "Crucify. He just proclaimed to be God. He surely must die." So once again, they're accusing him of blasphemy, and they're saying, you got to convict him. You got to execute him, even though you think he's innocent. We declare that he's guilty, and we demand that he be executed. And then it goes in the chorus, Yahweh, Yahweh. Sounds really cool so far. I'm enjoying this. I noticed also, music-wise, it's playing heavily on that one chord through the verse. It's just one chord song, and then it jumps up to the second chord right toward the end. So this is a very, the song musically is relying a lot on the rhythm, the instrumentation, and not necessarily the chord progression, at least so far. And a lot of the great rock songs, metal songs, are built like that. They're focused on the different elements. In fact, my band had a couple songs like that just had one or two chords in the entire song. But one example is the song Solid Ground. I'll do a reaction on here at some point and tell you about Solid Ground and give you the details about how that was written. But the whole idea is that sometimes you can get complex with real complex chord structure and maybe even with the melody sort of thing. And then sometimes you can just get a real simple melody, real simple chord structure, but you spice it up with something else. Maybe some special effects, maybe some vocal things that you do with it, maybe with the lyrics that are just really standing out, maybe with the rhythm. But there's different ways that you can do that, and they're doing that here. It's just a simple chord structure so far with the song, just the one or two chords, but they're really bringing it forward with that rhythm, with the squealing guitars, and you hear the effect, like I talked about the trill on that one string, to get the harmonics to really kind of set it over the edge. So you're not concentrating on the chords, but you're listening and you're hearing all these other little things that they're adding in there. Okay, let's get back into it. Second verse. Kind of an odd pattern on the vocals on those verses. There, switch to the chord for the chorus. Okay, I'm gonna go back and get this little lead solo there. But first, I want to talk about what we got so far here. Musically, once again, it is just the one chord all the way through the verse. Then on the chorus, it switches to the next chord. Musically, it's also reminded me of there was this sci-fi series back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm trying to think of what it was called. It was really cool. It was a Canadian show. It was a series lasted, I think, for 3 seasons, and I wish I could remember the name of this series. Comment down below if you know what I'm thinking of. But Lex, it's called Lex, about these 3 or 4 characters. One of them's a robot that are thrown together, and they're all completely different type characters, and they're trying to make their way across the galaxy in this giant spaceship that's basically a living creature. It's like a big bug, and they're inside this, and it's a spaceship. And so the theme song for that series reminds me a lot of this. That on the chorus where they have the choir sing Yahweh with that type of ethereal type of medieval type music. But anyway, the lyrics here: when Pilate heard this, he was afraid. Responded to what Jesus said. He asked the Lord, "Where do you come from? Don't you realize I have the power to free or kill the Son?" Jesus finally decided to answer him, "You have no power at all over me. If it didn't come from you, you're too blind to see." And that's straight from the scriptures again. Once again, kudos to Stryper and who wrote this song? Was it Michael? It doesn't say here, but whichever one of them wrote the lyrics for this song, the music as well, did a great job matching it with exactly the way it tells in the scriptures, the historical truth of how it happened. But Jesus said, "You have no power over me." He said, "No one takes my life, but I give it. I give it freely." And we're just finishing up Easter season, Lenten season, and at my church where I preach, I did a series on the 7 last words of Jesus from the cross. And by last words, so-called words, you mean the last sayings, and how in those sayings, in each one, if you look carefully at it, they're actually they're not about himself. He's not thinking of his own well-being. Even when he says, "I thirst," he's not talking about his own hunger and thirst for food. And when he's crying out to God, my God, why have you forsaken me?" He's not thinking that God has abandoned him, and he's not feeling depressed and discouraged. He's quoting scripture to fulfill prophecy in both those cases. And so the message that he had for us, I believe, that relates to this song, this lyric here, is he said, "You don't have no power over me. If it didn't come from above, you're too blind to see." And so he says, nobody takes my life. I give it of my own free will. And so Jesus died of his own will for us. They tried to kill him, and I preached about this in my sermon, in one of my sermons in that series, that they didn't take his life, he gave it. And so I have scripture to back that up as well. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description to my ministry channel, and you can head it over there, and I will go ahead and post a video up there at some point that will have that series, and then you can watch it if you want to. But anyway, I'm really enjoying this. Let's get back into it. Okay, coming out of that second chorus into the instrumental. Okay, here it comes. I like that. I love that music. On the drums. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, double time. There he hits that high note. Okay, so they double time the rhythm on this part. 6/8 or 4/8 or 8/8 instead of 4/4 or 4/8. Cut time is what they call it. Hear that squeal? Woo! Shredding it. Now that's an amazing vocal. And I love this powerful rhythm here too they went into. Just driving, boom. Musically, as it was going through that period, that section there, it's almost like they're crucifying Jesus and he's fighting this battle with Satan, is what it feels like in my head. If I were to picture this as a soundtrack to a movie, that's what I would imagine. At this time, they talk about his trial leading up to this point. Now they're getting ready to crucify him. And so he's fighting that battle on the spiritual level. Not on the physical level, as they expected him to do, but on the spiritual level, where he's not fighting against flesh and blood, but against Satan, the principalities of darkness, against evil. And when they thought he was losing, he was winning, because he wasn't fighting the battle they thought he was. And boy, they had a lot to learn. I think we're getting ready to find out. Okay, now we're getting into a regular pattern on the vocals. Okay, I like this verse better, the pattern on the vocals. The lyrics were stretched out on the previous verses, like, for example, in the first verse, I think it said, Pilate said, I find no reason to charge him. So they held out that one note for like a long part. It just sounded like excessively. Then they get here, and so the soldiers took Jesus. It was more of a regular flow to this verse, and I like that. I like it a lot better than the first two, which felt honestly a little bit awkward to me. And so the soldiers took Jesus, dragging his cross to a place where he knew. They hung a sign that would read, "The King of the Jews." Then back in the double time. All right, now this verse right here, they nailed his flesh to the wood. He said it is finished, and that's the seventh of the 7 words, so-called words of Jesus on the cross, and laid down his life, gave up his spirit for all. See, he laid it down. He gave it up. He was crucified. Then back into this amazing chorus. Hear the double kick on that drums. Well, this song is fire. Still double time. I expected it to go back to your regular 4/4 at that point, but it didn't. Awesome. Awesome. That song was fire and perfect for the season. You know, as I said, we're finishing up Easter season as we start back into the light side music reactions. And the song tells the Easter story very well. They did a great job with it. The lyrics were biblically sound. They were historically accurate. The music was amazing. Like I said on the first 2 verses, I didn't care for that first line, the way it was stretched out, the lyrics. But on the 3rd verse, the final one, it was more of a steady pattern, and I liked that a lot. Loved the arrangement. They really mixed it up with the 4/4, then going into the cut time. in sections, adding in that instrumental section that was so diverse, so many different layers to it that just really jumped out. This is really a great song from Stryper. I'm glad that I had a chance to react to it. Go ahead and comment down your thoughts. What did you think of it? And do you have any recommendations on music that you'd like me to check out? Name the artist and the title, and I will get to as many of you guys' requests as I can. Anyway, thank you once again to Victor, KR Toast 5, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and R. McLean for requesting Stryper music for me. I will be getting to some more Stryper stuff in the future, and a bunch of other stuff from many genres and styles. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, comment down below, and if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you know when we add new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. God bless, and we'll see you next time on the Light Side Music Reactions. Bye, everybody.